Steven Andress here for thelines.com. It is time to talk some brackets. In this video, we are going to look at potential first round upsets in the NCAA tournament and the implied win probability of every lower seeded team in the round of 64. Before we do, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, let us know in the comments which underdogs you are betting on in March Madness or advancing in your own brackets. And before we get going here, also want to let you know of a couple of things here on the website. Here on the homepage, if you go under March Madness, click on March Madness, you'll find our futures page with the odds to win the national championship. You'll also be able to find a couple other things here. Each of our NCAA tournament posts have this special offer from BetMGM right here in the gold. Bet $10 on a money line and win $200 if either team makes a three-pointer. An absolute no-brainer if you're in a market, in a state that has BetMGM and you have not opened an account yet. You can also find our lead writer Eli Hershkovich's content here, his power rankings under the March Madness tab, bracket advice for you, the first round bets that he made on the opening odds, and also the final four picks in his own bracket. Later on this week, we'll have a post with the brackets of each member of the line staff so you can figure out which of the favorite upsets we like, what teams we have going deep into the tournament. But let's go back to the homepage here and look at potential first round upsets in the NCAA tournament written by Eli Hershkovich. And the way he's looking at this is strictly numerically. He looked at every single lower seeded team in that first round, other than the 16 seeds, because obviously we know only one 16 seed ever has beaten a 1 seed, UMBC, over Virginia a few years back. So the 9 seeds, the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, he looked at their money line odds as of Tuesday and converted those money line odds into implied win probabilities. So with that being said, here is the rankings from top to bottom of each of the lower seeded teams, the worst seeded teams to win in the first round from most probable to least probable. And if you're a new bettor, if you're a casual college basketball fan, what might surprise you is that some of the worst seeded teams in that first round are actually favored by sportsbooks to win their first round matchup. Top of the list, a perfect example. Michigan is an 11 seed, but is minus 141 on the money line against 6 seed Colorado State. So the odds makers and the betting markets are telling you that Michigan has an implied win probability of 58.5%. The same goes for the 9 seed Memphis, also favored to win over the 8 seed Boise State. And rounding out the top 3, the 10 seed Loyola Chicago, slightly over 50% against the 7 seed Ohio State. As we go a little bit deeper, a couple more 9 and 10s here. TCU, the 9 seed, is favored over the 8 seed Seton Hall. And a coin flip here, the 10 seed Davidson, 50-50 with the 7 seed Michigan State. So let's stop there for a moment. Those are the teams that each have implied win probabilities of at least 50%. So if you're in a massive pool with a lot of casual college basketball fans who may not be following the sport as closely as you, these might be some leverage spots here where other people in your pool might blindly pick the 8 seed Boise State over the 9 seed Memphis or the 6 seed Colorado State over the 11 seed Michigan. These might be leverage spots for you, considering that the odds makers and people with a lot of money moving these markets are telling you that they believe it's the worst seeded team that has the better chance of winning these games outright and advancing to the second round. If we go a little bit deeper here, teams with implied probabilities of less than 50%, but still pretty close. These are short spreads. We're seeing more short spreads of long shots or underdogs this year than we have in years past. The 11 seed Virginia Tech, plus 100, it's the best odds right now. But at the time of publish, they were about a 49% implied win probability against Texas. The 10 seed San Francisco, little less than 50% as well. Miami against USC, a 10 seed, little less than 50%. Creighton, a 9 seed against the 8 seed San Diego State. South Dakota State, this is an interesting one. A 13 seed in this company with 9 and 10 seeds. You don't see that very often. So plus 120 on the money line comes out to a 45.5% win probability. If you look at the spread, South Dakota State's only about a 2-point underdog to Providence, a 4 seed. That is, as far back as we can look, the smallest spread for a 13 seed against a 4 seed that we've ever seen. So if you don't mind the little bit of risk, and considering you're likely to see a ton of people just blindly picking the 4 seed Providence and advancing them, this might be another leverage spot for your brackets. You're not going to get huge odds for this 13 seed in the betting markets, but potentially a chance to get an early advantage if South Dakota State can pull this minor upset. The 9 seed Marquette against the 8 seed North Carolina rounds out the teams that are in this tier with a 40 to less than 50% win probability. As we go a little bit deeper now, we're going to find some teams with less than a 40% win probability. For me, these are teams that maybe you were tempted to take in your brackets, but if you look, a lot of people with a lot of money and sharp dollars are telling you that they are taking the opposite side of these matches. The odds makers are telling you that they don't have nearly as much of a chance to win their first round matchup as the teams we've already talked about. So beware of these teams potentially for the rest of these round of 64 games that we talk about. The 11 seed Iowa State against the 6 seed LSU. Another trendy underdog here, the 13 seed Vermont Catamounts against the 4 seed Arkansas, 12 seed New Mexico State against the 5 seed UConn, the 14 seed Colgate against the 3 seed Wisconsin. Despite the odds, that is one that I think is not quite in line. I think there is a little bit of value to bet on Colgate here to win this game outright. An outstanding offensive team and a team in Wisconsin that's won a lot of games that were within a couple of possessions all year. They've been very fortunate, a great win-loss record in close games, which is typically a red flag once you get to the NCAA tournament where those close games may not go your way. Chattanooga, another trendy underdog, but you can see how far they are down this list at plus 280 to win against Illinois, just 26.3% implied probability. Our lead writer Eli Hershkovich likes UAB to cover 8.5 points, but to win the game outright, only a 22.7% chance implied probability, I should say. And the rest of this list here, this is where we start getting down to I think really were maybe some teams that were wrongly seeded. You can tell that by the odds here. Richmond plus 450, Akron plus 850, Montana State 10-1, greater than 10-1, Yale 10-1, Delaware 10-1. These are some serious long shots at this point. And at the bottom here, you can see the 15 seeds and also the worst of the 14 seeds. That's Longwood. And the other 15 seeds here, Jacksonville State, Cal State Fullerton, and St. Peter's, all with a less than 10% implied probability to win these games. The other thing I just want to mention to you guys here in each of our March Madness posts, you'll see the Lines interactive bracket here. Every single pod, every single matchup showing you who is playing, what the spread is in that game, and also what channel you can watch the game. And if you click on any one of these pods, it's going to take you to a game preview, a betting preview for that game with statistics, with the best lines across all the legal sports books in your state. For me, I'm in Indiana, so it's showing me that state, but you can switch this to all the other legal states that we have here. And down below, team statistics, offense versus defense, some betting insights, and also key players and statistics for those individual players. So you could do that on literally any one of these game pods in the bracket for the first round, and these will populate as we go on through the NCAA tournament. Hopefully that was helpful for you to try and navigate the first round and which teams are most likely to pull an upset based on seed in the round of 64. If you like the video, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let us know what you think in the comments as well and how you are navigating some of these potential upsets in the NCAA tournament. Enjoy the madness.